And we are live, and this is Thomas together with Rose and Amy, and we are doing the weekly AV community meeting, retrospective planning / whatever kind of thing. It's with a different agenda each time. Although I've been asked by Sam to do a quick presentation of the Website 1 project, so I'll do that. Another point on the agenda would be to perhaps go over some meeting notes from last week, and also we have the discussion about the Agile Ventures paths and the do's and don'ts of Agile Ventures. Another document that we created last night and that I've discussed with Sam early this morning. So let's start. Perhaps Amy, you were here last week, if I'm not mistaken.
I was, yes.
Is there any meeting notes from that meeting, or what was the agenda last week?
I don't have the notes from last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't.
I don't know if somebody took notes.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was just, if there were, we could go over them. But if there aren't any, that's not a biggie, of course. So okay, if I don't remember completely wrong, last week Sam did a presentation of Autograders, a project of ours. And this week we were thinking that we could do a quick presentation about the Website 1 project. It's one of our largest projects, and the project that a lot of people are starting with when they join Agile Ventures. So I guess this could be an interesting thing to do. So let me go to screen share, and I'll be talking for a while. And feel free to interrupt me, of course, if there's anything you guys want to ask or add to the presentation. So yes, the Website 1 project is described fairly extensively on our website. I also recorded a presentation of the project once and published it on the project's homepage on Website 1. I created a PowerPoint presentation that is exactly what I'm going to be using today as well. So hopefully I won't be repeating myself too much, but of course, there are some things that needs to be said twice or 3 times sometimes. So yes, let me just kick this off. First of all, a quick. When I present this for outside stakeholders, I always give a background to Agile Ventures. We all know what Agile Ventures is, but for our viewers, if there are any or will be in the future, just a quick recap. Agile Ventures is a non-profit organization incorporated in England by Sam Joseph, and we are a project incubator for social innovations. We help different non-profits around the world to have their IT needs assessed, evaluated, and potentially solved. And we work with open source and free software mainly, or exclusively actually. We haven't had any proprietary software projects, and we don't wish to have that either. So we are a place for learning and personal development, and we talk about that a lot. That this is a real life experience for a lot of people that are taking their first baby steps in software development, or for people that are already experienced as developers or project managers, but want to share their knowledge and experiences with other people. So we are either here to learn or to share our knowledge, or do both. And for me personally, this is every day or every meeting in Agile Ventures is an opportunity for me to learn new things and gain new insights. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity. It's a great place to grow on many different levels. We have members from across the world. I think at the last count, we had members from 87 countries. And as I mentioned before, we have all various levels of competence and experience in software development and project management and etc. Things that are needed to become a software developer. And the Website One project is the project behind the main application that runs and supports the community that is called Agile Ventures. So that's a place for online collaboration. It is a place where we run our project development. We have all information about all our projects on that website, and again, it's a place for learning. So this is a website where you can find interesting information about either the project that you're working on or any other info that could be of interest for you, or if you want to share something, you can write an article or a blog post, etc. And this is almost a year-old project. We started January 8th, 2014, so we will be celebrating our 1-year anniversary. And this site has been built entirely by volunteers. So and it hasn't cost a single dollar yet, because everything has been contributed by free will without any compensation. And we use a set of different methods and tools that I want to talk about a little bit. We have adopted we've chosen to use Agile software methods for development, and we use a modified version of Scrum. That is Scrum for distributed teams, and I won't be talking about that for any extensively, but there are certain aspects of the Scrum method that are not we have not applied in this project, but we are trying to do the best with what we have, and it's not only because we've chosen to exclude certain things from Scrum, not because we don't like them, but because they are very hard for us to implement in a distributed environment, first of all, but also in an open source project like this with volunteers. So we cannot apply Scrum by the book, unfortunately. I wish we could, and perhaps we will be doing that later on. That's one of my objectives for the future. But as of today, we don't do Scrum fully. But we use different kind of freely available tools that are out there on the internet that can support the Agile process for any project, and that has given a lot of support and helped us a lot in managing this project also. One is being Pivotal Tracker, and Pivotal Tracker is a tool for that helps us to see what is currently going on, what is planned, and then what ideas or feature requests we have in the backlog. So it's a fully featured project management tool that supports the Agile processes fully. So it's a great resource for us. We of course use GitHub, which is, and I guess everybody knows that it's a web-based repository service with some social features that we do not use extensively. We use the wiki, but we don't use the issues reporting and stuff, because we do most of our communication or feature requests and discussion about that in Pivotal Tracker. But we use GitHub as the main repository for this project, and we have a 3-layer solution for in our main repository. We have a developer branch, a staging branch, and a master branch that also are mirrored on a technical environment with 3 different servers that we deploy to, being the development server, staging, and production. And we use Travis CI for continuous integration and continuous deployment of our code. And the platform that we have chosen to use for deployment and to run our production servers is Heroku. So with these four main tools, we are covering everything, all the different phases and stages of our project management, from a feature request to code and testing and then deployment. These four tools are free for us to use. We don't pay a single dime for it, which is frankly amazing that we can do all that without having any budget. And if we just look back 5 or 10 years ago, that would have been totally impossible. And then I'm very glad that there are so many freely available tools out there right now, so that open source projects can be run and maintain a good quality of management. And I think it's a really good thing. And I want to extend my thanks to all the people behind these tools, because it's a blessing for us. As with any other project in Agile Ventures, we do a lot of pair programming, and we talk about that a lot. And pair programming is the most important thing for us. It's in terms of the way we learn new things and the way we solve problems. So that's most of the things that has been deployed to production and that has a good quality are products of pair programming. And just to give a quick overview of what pair programming is, on location, that means that two programmers work together at one workstation. The way we use it, and in this distributed environment, is that two or more programmers are using Google Hangouts to share screens, and they use GitHub to share code and solve problems together and do coding collaboratively. So, and we believe that pair programming produces better and more robust code, and gives us an opportunity to learn by a mutual exchange of experiences and knowledge. And it's a guarantee and it's also a matter of documentation of our processes and our tasks, and a guarantee that there is an ongoing knowledge and skills transfer within our developer team. That is, I think it's very, very important. And sometimes we have failed to uphold this standard, and we've also noticed very quickly that it causes trouble for us, because if only one developer develops a feature and there is something wrong with it, or we have to refactor it, or we have to approach that story some other days, in the future, if we don't have a recording of that session to fall back on, that usually leads to some confusion and longer lead times, and we have to rethink and redo things from scratch, and that's not a good thing. That's not a very efficient use of resources. So Website One is a project where we try to be as open as possible. So openness in this project isn't just about open source, but also about open process, so that we do everything so it can be reviewed in the future, and recording Hangouts, pair programming, and doing good feature requests and documenting stuff as extensively as possible, without, of course, exaggerating, is a guarantee that we can maintain good quality and good progress in this project. And in terms of contributing, I believe that, and that's I always state that, and try to be as clear about this as possible, that all our users, all our members are contributing to this project simply by using the application. Any application that it could be as well written as anything else, but if nobody uses that, we won't be able to expose any bugs or shortcomings, or come up with new features. So just by using the application, you're contributing to its development. But of course, if you encounter any bugs or if you come up with any new feature requests, have any suggestions, please, everybody should feel free to forward these requests or bug reports to us. And that could be done either by any of the open channels we have, like Slack or what have you, but preferably to write up a story or a bug report in Pivotal Tracker. We give access to almost everybody to our Pivotal Tracker. So if you don't have access, just feel free to ask for it, basically. And of course, there's a lot of stuff. We have a very long and extensive backlog, so there's always features that could be worked on. So if you feel like writing code and doing pair programming on Website 1, there's always things that you can be assigned to. So feel free to ask for it. And contributing is done, of course, either by developing new stories and new features, but also by refactoring code, writing up stories. You don't have to be a coder, but if you help people to do code reviews, etc., that's all very good means and good ways to contribute to Website 1 development. And our hope for 2015, the second year of this project's life cycle, is to be able to support not only Agile Ventures members, but also the students of 169.2 course that starts in January or February, and be the place for them to go in terms of setting up pair programming sessions and then support their studies of Ruby and Rails and different other things that are part of that MOOC. So I know that today the facilitators of this of 169.1 and 2 are pushing their students toward Google Plus for setting up pair programming sessions and discussing the course. But hopefully we will be able to route them over to Agile Ventures, and we need to step up our game, and we have to do some enhancements and deliver some new stories in order to be competitive, basically. So we have a member base today of 600 something. What is it now? 640 members in Agile Ventures. A lot of them are not active, but we want to try to make them more involved in our community. And yes, 639 members. Yeah. So another thing that we are working on right now is to improve the way we can communicate with our member base, and that is by sending out newsletters, perhaps integrating some sort of chat into this application, etc. So there are some different stories in the working about that. And yes, that's basically it. We are using some external services. Every member can synchronize their account with Google Plus, with GitHub. That's used for authentication, and also to connect their channel, their profile to YouTube. The application itself is connected to Twitter. We have a Twitter account and also a Facebook account that we like to push out more to our members, so we can get some traction on Facebook. That would be very nice. But that's basically it. Any questions, guys, girls? I mean.
Yes. Can you tell me again who the audience for this presentation is? Is this going to be an introduction on the website, or are you planning to present to, like a group or something later this week?
Well, I first of all, as I said, I have a version of this presentation on the website already, in the under the on the Website 1 main page on agileventures.org. But I also give this talk sometimes here in Gothenburg for people that are interested in working pro bono non-profit for non-profit, for different organizations and that are interested in agile methods. So yes, I will be talking to a group next week here in Gothenburg again. But this is just for today. I'm just doing this for having it on record again as a as a part of this ongoing project presentations that we are supposed to do here on Agile Ventures community meetings.
Okay. And that's a great slide deck. Is it meant to be shared and used by other people to tell, people about Agile Ventures?
I can share it. I have it's on Google Docs, so just gonna paste a link. So in the chat, if you want to access it, of course, absolutely.
Okay.
There we go. I think if you click on it, I think you should be able to access that. Absolutely. Cool.
Right.
Rose, any questions? Yeah, you're still muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I think it's very clear. Thanks for the link because I want to incorporate it into my SPOC for next semester,
Right.
which I'm going to be putting together as soon as possible. So I especially want to get students involved much earlier, and I think this will really help.
Cool. Absolutely. And if there's anything I can add to it, or this, I wrote it up basically myself. So I guess there is always room for improvement.
It looks good.
Cool.
Yeah. The only thing I would add is under methods and tools. Do we need to update Travis to semaphore?
Yeah.
I was going to mention that. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's do that update as we speak. So it's done. Where is that? Here it is. Oh, here it is.
Thanks, Amy, for mentioning that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, but I kind of.
And then I forgot.
Okay.
Before, and we could also. Oh, why is that happening? Sometimes this Google presentation tool is really bugging me. We could use Jira. Can do something. Is it spelled like this, Jira, or is it two I's, or no? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I think Jira isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jira is one I.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had to type Jira often enough. It's definitely one I.
One I.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but feel free to watch that video, that recording of me. I recorded this as well, and it's here on the website one page. It's the same presentation. I just talk a little differently, perhaps. It's not that long. It's 9 minutes long. So, but if you feel like reading through this, if you ever have to talk about this, Rose or Amy, there are some some text behind this as well. So, all right. Okay. So let's go to the other discussion point for today, and that is this. After last night's meeting, Amy, where we discussed website one, I created this community profile work in progress kind of document. I discussed this together with I discussed this with Sam this morning, and I basically state here that I think it would be beneficial to talk about the core values of the community, and that I would like to start a broad discussion about what we are and who we are, and what our feelings as members of this community, what we feel is important to communicate about what we do, both internally for our own sake, but also to potential members and other stakeholders externally. So my idea is that if we could say that, as we spoke yesterday, right, who we are and what we are and what we are not, and also what we do and what we do not, for instance. So this is just a start. I added a few paragraphs, and Sam and I added another few this morning, but this is in no way complete. It's just a beginning. And for instance, this one was important. We said this yesterday, if you remember, Amy. We discussed this together, that we're not a coding school, for instance, right? So I think it's very important to communicate. But we are a place for learning. So, and I said, I just wrote down that even if we do not offer traditional classes and tutorials, the main focus of our community is learning, and just some text about this. And I would like this to be fairly extensive, but after a while, my idea is that I could sit down with some marketing people I know here in Sweden, or whoever feels interested in marketing, and boil this down to a few kind of slogans or short paragraphs or whatever could be useful for us, in order to perhaps refactor the main landing page of this site, and make our communication both internally and externally more transparent, more clear, basically. So I would say at this stage we don't have to think about keeping it short, but rather just brainstorm as much ideas as possible, and then we can initiate a process of boiling this stuff down to something that is concrete and manageable and easy to use in communication.
Okay. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna paste my description from yesterday's.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
I just pasted it there as a comment.
Okay. Cool.
What I'd also like to get done in this meeting is that since the three of us are in a room together, and we have sort of an open question of the students who are working on website 1, and Thomas, I think that you were going to attend the Pacific Scrum so that you could connect with Rose. Perhaps we could take advantage of that opportunity now.
You mean today?
Right now, we're all three in a meeting. We're the people who need to talk.
Oh yeah, well, I was in a scrum with Rose's students 2 weeks ago, and I was hoping that we could perhaps set something up for my today. But Rose, you're not going to be there today, or are you?
Well, I'm going to be there, but I was going to ask you if you wouldn't mind postponing that until next Monday, because I haven't done the prep work. I should have yesterday. I mean, I basically, after I got hurt yesterday, I kind of spent most of my time recuperating, and I need to, just do a little more with my students before we have another big meeting. But Amy was saying, are you still up for doing the regular Scrum anyway?
Yeah, it's posted on the website. It's scheduled. Some people will expect it. I think it's very good to just keep up the rhythm of having the meetings at their scheduled time all the time. So I'll show up and open it. If somebody shows up, somebody shows up. I think that's great.
Well, we'll be there.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, I'm going to go in shortly, but I'm just saying that I'm not up for so much, if you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
No problem. I can facilitate the check-in. And also, I'll remind the students to update Pivotal Tracker if they're working on Pivotal Tracker stories.
Yeah, that's mostly what I was going to do yesterday. Of course, I haven't even touched it.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be a self-organizing team. So it should not. I mean, that's the whole reason why you have an Agile self-organizing team, or why you have Agile, so that it's foolproof. It's fail-safe. If somebody gets hit by a bus, the rest of the team kind of flows into that space and keeps things afloat until a more permanent situation can be put in place, or until the crisis passes.
No, I agree with you. It is still. I mean, I've found that with some students, you don't have to explain this. you know, they're really there, and they're moving, and they're going forward, and it's great. But then there's other students where they still are kind of expecting other people to organize them, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I've been trying to disabuse them of that notion, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that it's not the way things are happening. So the more they hear other people emphasize that, the better. In other words,
Yeah.
if they have been in a work situation where it hasn't been agile, you know, they are still kind of thinking with that mindset.
Yeah.
And it is amazing how hard it is to break people of that mindset when they've already gotten used to some other way of doing things.
Mm.
Well, it's actually not amazing if you have much background in behaviorism. The students, and actually most workers, because we run into this over and over and over again with corporate clients. Almost your entire life, you are trained to follow orders, and so people have a habit. And what makes a person, what makes their personality, which controls almost everything they do, are people's habits. Because if you had to consciously do slow thinking and think through everything that you need to do, you'd get nothing done. So we file most of the things that we need to get done into our fast thinking, our subconscious, which is where our habits live. So you have to retrain them, you know, and you just got to keep doing it. It's baby steps, and it's a long haul.
Yeah.
But I think your students are doing great. They do better than a lot of the engineers that I've worked with.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I'm a little impatient with a few of them. Like I said, a lot of them are really gung-ho and moving forward, and I'm very proud of most of them. But there's a few that I still have to kind of, no, you know, you're not going to be spoon-fed. No one is going to take you by the hand and, you know, tell you exactly everything you have to do. You have to, you know, meet with the other people in your team and do the pair programming, and et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, as you said, it's just a matter, we have to constantly emphasize that these are our values and these are our goals. So I think as far as this semester goes, I think I'm seeing some success in this, but I think that exposing this to them much earlier next semester will be very beneficial. I mean, I think they need to see that this is the way we do things.
Yeah. Let's have a talk about that sometime, because there's a lot of ways to help people adopt these habits, and I'd love to talk to you about them. But I understand that, you know, we're in a meeting, we're all very pressed for time. So okay.
Sure.
So
but I appreciate that. That would be fantastic.
Oh yeah. I love this stuff. So we have Pacific Scrum later today. In the Pacific Scrum, I'll make a point of urging the students to self-organize, letting them know that Thomas is going to be there on Monday. You agreed to that, right, Thomas?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you
okay.
so much.
No problem.
Great. So the co-founder of Agile Ventures and the project leader for Website One will be there to find out what's been happening on Website One. And by the way, here's Pivotal Tracker. Did everybody update Pivotal Tracker? And you know,
I could do a. It depends a little bit on what you think is appropriate, Rose. But I could either do this talk. I can do something about distributed Scrum. I have a presentation for that, and a talk that I usually give. Or if there's any other aspect of anything that has to do with distributed team and, you know, agile development, or, you know, open source or whatever, if you feel that there's any topic that they would be interested in, I can do a 20-minute presentation or 30-minute presentation about that. But I leave this up to you. I need a few days, in advance, so I can prepare something. But I'd love to talk to them. They were a great bunch of people. So if there's anything I can do to help them, I would be pleased to do so.
great.
And also, I saw that BabHub is the bike project is deployed. I mean, there's a code base out on GitHub So I took the liberty yesterday to fork this this project, and I created a pull request with. Oh, they already merged it. Well, there you go. Yeah, so I did a pull request yesterday, and just said in the pull request message, "Hi, glad to see you getting started. Just wanted to make a small contribution and submit this PR as a good luck greeting." So I just set them up with some BDD testing framework.
Nice.
Yeah. So tell them hi from me, you know. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure they'll be thrilled.
that's just to show them that, you know, people are noticing their work, and I saw that
Yeah.
they set this up on Agile Ventures site, so that's good. It's great work. So
Okay. Okay.
cool.
I will get the data from them today, or at least start getting it as far as what particular topics seem to be the things most on their mind.
Cool. Yeah, sure. All right, so Monday it is. It's settled. Then you just let me know what do you want me to talk about, basically. So, okay.
That's great. Fantastic.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Anything else on our agenda today? Please do
Taking care of everything.
do me a favor and read through both these documents that I have out there about the you know, the community values and stuff, and also about the paths. And if you guys can come up with something new, just add it to the document or to the comments. And also, if you talk to other members of the community, feel free to, you know, push for them to also have an opinion. It's always good that as many people as possible are pitching into this. That would be great, because this is in no way a one-man's show or two-man's show or whatever. Sometimes it feels a little lonely when only me and Sam are discussing certain things. So it's good to have as many people as possible participating and collaborating on this stuff.
And by these two documents, you mean the community profile and the Agile Ventures paths under the Agile Venture community.
Yes, ma'am.
On the site.
That's these two. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I'll be posting this this presentation on slide deck. I think it's called the SlideShare kind of clone that is run by GitHub. So I post a link to this presentation in a PDF format if you guys want to share it with some external people. This is
great.
This is for internal use, basically. Yeah.
Great, and I've copied the Google Doc into my own Agile Ventures folder.
All right. Cool.
And I've talked to when I talk to people here in the Bay Area about Agile Ventures, they get really excited. They really like it. I don't think anybody's filling this gap that you guys are filling right now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Yeah, well, I'm getting the same reaction here in Sweden. You know, people are basically and they always ask me, how do you fund this? And I always say, we don't fund it at all. We actually take pride in doing this as cheap as possible, which basically means €0 or dollars or whatever. Because we haven't spent a single, you know, we don't spend money on this. We just do this voluntarily, and I think it's great, because even I know that money makes the, you know, world go around, but there are so many things that you can do without it, and I think it's a good thing, you know. Education and learning doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It could be free. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this, and I look forward to seeing you in a Scrum or a pair programming session ASAP.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Take
Thank
it easy,
you.
guys. So long.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Thank you. Bye.